Hello, everyone. It's time for another Ask Michael. It's 2013 now, and it's January the 25th on a Friday afternoon. Hi, Michael. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm anxious to give you a spontaneous answer.
Ha-ha! And what that means, folks, is sometimes I discuss the questions with Michael in advance, but this time I did not. So he has no idea what I'm going to ask him. So we're going to experiment here and see how he does just coming up with stuff off of the fly. Michael, here is your question, sir. This was sent to us by a fan through an email. I'm going to read it off the paper here. Michael, when you first started playing with the Iceberg machine, a lot of the technology was very new, and most people had never seen anything like it before. So an integral part of your show was an explanation of what it was and what it could do. Now, if the Michael Iceberg of, let's say, 1976 could be brought into the present and put a show together today with 2013 technology, would you still do a show that way, or would you present your music in a different way? So what we're doing is we're taking you in 1976 with a time machine, and we're going to bring you up to here and give you all this new technology and show you how to use it and say, okay, now do a show. Would you do it the same way you did then, or would you do it differently?
Well, I would probably approach it the same way, but you would have to know that there wasn't a lot of analysis or design involved in the Michael Iceberg show. The Michael Iceberg show, or the Michael Iceberg and the Iceberg machine, which happened as just because of a strange choice of words I made one day. I was really sharing my wonderment of the stuff with the audience. And that's always what I was doing. And the first thing that happened to make it the Iceberg machine was that, the first additional instruments were the Chamberlins.
Right.
And the Chamberlins absolutely fractured me. I loved them so much. I loved them and I hated them. But I found it necessary to explain them because they would break so much. The original Chamberlins had little leaf switches under each key, which would constantly freeze together.
Yes.
And because they were sending a lot of electricity through to each solenoid. Each solenoid was 3/4 of an amp, I think, and 24 volts, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm remembering right, but they would just get stuck together, and as much as I loved it, it made me just terribly nervous because it was constantly breaking. And
so today you'd be dealing with things like software crashes now instead of mechanical problems.
Yeah, but I did try to build a new Iceberg machine, Charlie, in 2004, or maybe 2006. I took these. I may have told you this before in one of these sessions. I'm not sure.
A little bit.
But I had two Mac little square things.
Yes.
Little rectangular things about 2 inches thick, and I had a digital DP5, maybe it was digital performer, and I had some other software, and I had a couple of screens that were pretty large, and I had all these virtual synthesizers, and I thought that I might be able to build the Iceberg machine like that, and it really didn't. It doesn't really work very well if you don't have the actual instruments there to just.
There were no knobs.
There were no, well, the knobs were on a screen, and I was trying to pick up the mouse and change this one or that one. And
it's not the same. You got to have knobs.
You know, if I could do it, if I could go back to 1976 right now, I would.
I would go there with you, sir. That was the great age of the Iceberg machine and wonderful, wonderful times.
It was when, but it was also the time, because prior to 1976, from 69 to 76, I was able to move it by myself.
Yeah.
I was able to fix it by myself. And starting in 1976, when I started at Disneyland, they took over. And we made it a lot better. Mm-hmm. And we did. They did. However, in doing so, it got out of hand. We got too big a truck. And a bank gave me too much of a loan so I could buy too much equipment. And, gee, that was fun, Charlie. But I don't think I could do the Iceberg machine in today's technology with the technology that I possess. I don't doubt that other people could and do it a lot better. It's just that my best performing took place when I could just play live and I didn't program. And, and it was really, MIDI wasn't really necessary to the Iceberg machine. It's nice that it came along, and I thought it was going to wreck the act, but it didn't. But programming sounds to occur when I got to a certain place in the music led to programming other things.
Yep.
And the more I programmed, the less I could do off the top of my head.
And that was a big part of your show.
It was the best.
The spontaneity and the dealing with mechanical problems as they happened and the ad-libbing, that was all fun.
Well, it was fun because I could sometimes play something based on what I was looking at in the audience, too.
Right.
You know, I could accompany somebody out of the restaurant or...
I'll put it this way. It was fun for us and probably sometimes terrifying for you when something would break.
Well, there were also other things, like when Tweedledee and Tweedledum would come to the side door.
Yes.
And I was very distressed.
Yes.
When the characters would come in costume.
And all the little kids would jump up and rush to the door.
They'd rush out of my show and go and spin the propellers on Tweedledee and Tweedledum's hat. And I guess it really shouldn't have bothered me at all. But I was serious about not being serious. And now I know that probably the best thing about the Iceberg Machine shows were it wasn't serious. It was just fun. It was really fun.
Well, thank you, sir. Great answer. Great answer. And I think successful as far as me not telling you what's happening in advance. We're going to have to do it this way more often.
Okay. Well, I kind of like it.
I like putting you on the spot. That was fun.
Good.
Well, folks, this is Charlie Brown, webmaster of MichaelIcebergMusic.com, signing off with Michael Iceberg. My friend, have a great weekend.
You too.
We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right.